Remember when I said that Sonic follows me everywhere? Well, I found this Sonic analog horror. Like a legit nice analog horror involving Sonic Adventure, but then I searched Sonic Adventure ARG on Google and found another cool Sonic Adventure web series. Interesting. Might as well make a video on both, so I'll title both Sonic Outerlands and Sonic Adventure The Forgotten Files. By the way, I will use screenshots because A, it's easier to edit, and B, because I want you to watch the whole thing by yourself. So let's go. Spooky, scary Sonic, get shivers down your spine. I don't know what the rest of the song is. Spooky, scary Sonic, First, we'll start with Sonic Outerland. But then again, I think you may need some context first. The thing about most Sonic games is that most of them are super rushed, especially Sonic Adventure, which had a lot of cut ideas while coming out for a brand new super powerful console. If you search for it, you can see part of the chaos unfold. Part of it. We might know a lot about the things going on behind the scenes, but we don't know everything. There's also how the Saturn flopped everywhere except in Japan, so let's just say that the developers were put under pressure to make the next Sonic game as successful as possible, so both RGs are their own take of what if everything went wrong. This is not a new concept, since creepypastas tried often to do this concept, but the execution is what makes them shine. That's it. Sonic Outerland started in 2020 with a placeholder Factory Zone team. After that, a bunch of artwork and promotional footage gets released. We also get a menu as well as a release date, 1996. The thing about 1996 is that it was a big year for 3D platformers, as Super Mario 64 revolutionized what a 3D platformer could be, and this was a big push towards 3D games. There's also some Eggman artwork as well as test level. The name of the project used to be New Age Sonic, which is interesting. Not as interesting as Anthony J, our protag who archives all of this stuff. He even has his own website, which I'll be paying a visit to later. Also, all of the videos I've mentioned so far are from Season 0. The first video of Season 1, A Message, is just a teaser featuring some promotional posters as well as a dev photo, but censored. Advertisement from January 1997 features some gameplay as well as Master Emerald shards, I think. Maybe they're relevant to the plot. We also see some Metal Sonic action featuring Eggman. What's more intriguing is that the entry would have used a new Alpine add-on to render the Saturn even more powerful. Considering the unholy amount of add-ons Sega had on the Genesis, I'm certain they would do this. At the end you can see some text I can read, and that's it. Test areas from October 1996 show some test areas used to test the game physics mechanics. An exclamation mark as well as some lightning controls appear. Spooky! However, Sonic finds a TV monitor while text, according to the description, reads, "Did you make this?" May's test from January 1996 is just a small test to show how big the levels in the game would be by lead programmer Hajime Takahashi. Then a wall crashes the software. May 18, 1997 shows another prototype and a bench. After Sonic sits on the bench, we see the IRL version of the bench. Could this bench be related to the person's memories? In Developer Recordings 1, we are told that most of the recordings were made by Takahashi as well as his colleague, Onoka Yasuka. Later in 1997, Takahashi got rid of these recordings. Anthony tried to contact them, but it did not work at all. Time to get a conversation with Yuji Naka, one of the creators of Sonic and Knights and Balan. etc., as well as Takahashi. Naka is very disappointed with the result because he needed the game to be an instant hit to save Sega before the tape corrupts. We then get a recording sequence explaining a lot of things. Takahashi had worked on another project before making a 3D Sonic platforming game. He wanted to make the game on 32X before it got changed to the Saturn. On November 26, 1995, the project got approved. Honoka modeled the action stages, by the way. We then get to see a monitor, probably the same as in the test area, before we see what seems to be Honoka working on the title. There's also what I think is Honoka staring at the monitor. It gives me chills. While a lot of names for the projects are crossed out, since Sega wanted the devs to come up with the title and the story, in this story, Sonic is sent to another realm by Dr. Eggman, so he needs to get home before it's too late. The footage corrupts as if someone gone mad, before Takahashi reasserts the person that platformers don't need deep stories. Could the corruptions be screams of anger towards Takahashi? Either way, game got approved and they're going to Latin America to get some inspiration. That also happened with the actual Sonic Adventure game. Then we see a model, which is probably animated by Honoka, as well as some offices, before Ganbare Sonic Team plays. Ganbare means basically, let's go. Here it is used as a form of irony as the employees are being overworked for the greater good of Sega. In Sega World Archives, Anthony gets a USB key from someone who claims to have worked at the Sega World London. Apparently in 1997, Sega made their own small game show in London. British? One of the attractions was apparently Sonic Outerland. James could have been fired for having these recordings somehow. There's also some demo footage featuring an NPC who has Sonic to beat mean robots in his house, with some emerald shards as his reward. Their name is Gene and they clearly look unfinished. Once the robots are beaten, Sonic returns to Turquoise Valley Act 1. We then get the Sega World Game Show employee tapes to install arcade cabinets. I can also see a passport in the flash forward sequence. We then see someone heading for the staff room before it is interrupted by an explanation about an audio chip for animatronics with a few examples. And also, yes, that is Sonic and he looks creepy. Also, we get a survey that includes asking for flashing images or glitches, implying that the title is very far from complete. Then we see some arcades, then a very limited animation of Sonic greeting us to Sega World. Along with a VHS tape, there was a CD of someone trying out the Sonic Outerlands demo with no luck. The person will try contacting Sega later. And then we get the test rooms level. Now we need to go to the website. It's almost over, I swear. It has a plot summary as well as developers' interviews. Basically, the Saturn was limited as a console, so the devs had to create the Alpine add-on, which would enhance the Saturn's power by 300%. There are also other details that aren't that important for this video, so you should check it out by yourself. However, at the bottom of the page lies something special, which is taken from the interview. You can also click on photos and see Takahashi's face looking straight at you, since this is an unfinished page. What happened? Page not found is an indicator of that. So, what happened? Oftentimes when gamers talk about nostalgia, they tend to look at the bright side, but on the other side we have overworked devs, who have all the pressure on them. So this video kind of shows how maybe the scene wasn't as bright and as colorful as we thought it was. This series really shows how the developers were treated by the executives, while in interviews They have to pretend that everything is fine, it's all coming together. However, the title was never released and Takahashi straight up got rid of these recordings, as if it was one of his biggest regrets. And the face of Takahashi with what happened just shows how bad things ended up being. The gaming industry sucks, and it has always been garbage. However, could something have happened to these people? Both scenes with the red monitor seems to indicate that Alpine might not be what it seems, unless it's just a representation of how insane these people are becoming. Either way, that's Sonic Outerland. It made me cry somewhat, although it was made by teenagers. There even was a bit of drama, but it all ended well, so good. Sonic Adventure The Forgotten Files is by comparison a lot simpler, but I do think its story is very efficient anyways. The very first uploads of the channel started out as, what if we got the beta version of the game? However, much later, Low Poly released a video that was titled Hidden Character, and that's how you get the series to start. So what is going on there? Let us find out. In Hidden Character, Sonic just casually completes the stage, after staring longingly at Perfect Chaos, that is. Truly a beautiful creature. After he has completed the stage, there is a notification that pops up. Actually, you unlocked a new character. Then Sonic uses a spin dash exploit in order to get on the top of the ruins. Then there is a flash. And now we get some character artwork as well as a description of Tickle. You have unlocked Tickle. Her spirit has been resurrected thanks to you. Explore the world and... So basically now you can play as Tickle. Yay. Too bad she has no ladder climbing animation, or else she would be able to get out of Mystic Runes. So she tries literally everything else, but still cannot get out of the Mystic Runes. So she stands there, saying, I'm glad you freed me now, Sonic, but now what do I do? Tickle might be free from her non-existence, but she still cannot do much. In Scrapped Easter Egg, Sonic explores the egg carrier, only to stumble upon the Mushroom Mill level. After completing the level, Sonic gets told to go to Eggman's lab because his secret is there. So Sonic catches the Soul Ring in that one machine, and we get the scrapped version of Shadow, Terios. According to the description, this Easter egg confused the players, since Shadow was only planned for Sonic Adventure 2, whose development started later. Could this scrap character could have gone back in time, or was he secretly planned since Sonic Adventure 1? But then again, this is a strange version of Sonic Adventure. Concept trailer shows off every character from the title. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Big the Cat but he looks more like Totoro, and the best character of Sonic Adventure, Dr. Eggman! He normally isn't playable in this game, so apparently this trailer went unused due to a lot of massive changes during development. Oh, we can also see the Mystic Runes at the end. In alternate Knuckles route, things are starting to get weird according to the description. Basically, Knuckles finds something hidden in a random log from Mystic Runes, which leads him to a remake of a Sonic 2 level. So you find some nice Master Emerald shards, only for Tickle to be like, I'm glad you made it, now you can help me. Tickle jump scare! He then disappears as the VHS distorts and Knuckles is chased by her, to some really great PS1 Clock Tower music. Unfortunately, Knuckles gets caught due to collision issues. Now we get a continue screen where you can't continue. Game over, Knuckles. Game over. One more VHS interruption shows that Tickle is free from the Mystic Runes and is now heading to Station Square via train. What will she do? Who knows? The aspect of Tickle being an antagonist I love is that she is, as a playable character, a scrapped idea. Her model, story, etc. have all been scrapped due to time, budget, etc. The way these videos show Tickle's point of view is tragic, and as she has gone insane trying to free herself and become an actual character. I blame Sega and the gaming industry for rushing everything. You know what is fun though? The fact that due to the VHS cuts, this has all been recorded by someone, probably from Sega. Spooky. Eggman Adventure Mode sure has a description. Eggman is playable, but not in the way you expect. And it's right, because he sends his robots to do his own dirty work. The player technically gets to play Emerald Coast as Metal Sonic, accompanied by Tails though, who is only there to monitor Metal Sonic. The objective is simply to get to the end as Metal Sonic, as a test of sort. Well, at the very least you get to play Eggman in the Upworlds. Honestly, this feels like a cool excuse to pad out the game and see Eggman's side of the story. It feels lazy yet clever at the same time. I could see Sega incorporate that into the game, but mostly because it was rushed. But oh, Tickle is trying to catch Eggman. Or not, as she heads in the opposite direction. I do not know why she is going to Casinopolis instead. Perhaps for some reasons we'll talk about later. So Eggman goes to Speed Highway to collect some shards as a test for Metal Knuckles. It's all nice and clean, so Eggman decides to skedaddle away until Tickle jumps from the roof and then she gets him. A grand reveal happens. This is all from an E3 demo of Sonic Adventure. That's where the recordings come from. Also, there's a Master Emerald. Apparently, Tickle went after those Master Emerald shards first, so she might be trying to restore it for reasons. That's it for this episode. In sight and sound of Sonic Adventure with Big the Cat, the viewer just vibes with Big. Until at the end where Tickle wants to complete the Master Emerald to transform into something or summon chaos. Since we see Sonic staring at him longingly in the first video, that would be possible. In pre-release images, you can see multiple images, which include some concept art. The fact that it would be called Sonic 4 at first, or even scrap characters, one of these will be very important. I'm not telling you which one. Multiple character descriptions also pop up, with some anomalies in red text. It is implied that Knuckles has disappeared due to his encounter with Tickle. However, in Tickle's description, it is written that her objective is unknown now that she is free one more. Eggman, for some reason, has no red text despite being captured. However, on the character showcase screen, both Eggman and Knuckles have prohibition signs on them, implying that they no longer are playable. In Amy's side quest, Amy talks about how she hasn't seen Sonic in a while, until she sees Big and is like, "Welp, maybe he can help." So to Emerald Coast she goes. I never said this also, but I love these loading screens. I have nothing else to add. Also, in pre-release images, it was shown that Tickle's controls are A to jump, as well as X for soul capture. Yep, Tickle can capture souls, and it looks like she's headed for Tails next. And there's even like, "Gotta collect them all" in the description. But hey, back to Amy and Big. A tutorial appears with both of them being followed by Tickle. The words "Run" appear. Oh god, Tickle is at the bottom corner of the screen! Run, Amy, run! Oh hey, she made it, unlike Big! Bye, Big! Amy then reappears at the Emerald Shrine in the past. As she heads towards it, the game crashes. Perhaps someone is preventing her from interfering with the Master Emerald. Now that the system reboot and the very weird loading screen is over, we discover that Amy is stuck in a test level. Oh, a pipe. That leads to an old as CG cutscenes with "INS" written on it. After the scrapped Easter egg incident, Tails leaves. Tickle appears She seems to have led Sonic there for some reason. Also, a dinky ash machine, probably for the collected souls, appears at the top of the ruins. Now Tickle can climb the ladder after collecting Knuckles' soul and leave. Also, she's at the top of that one building, which I think is where the Echidna came from to attacking Man earlier. It is then revealed that the spider thing from the concept art is the one who helped Tickle free herself from the Mystic Ruins. Only Tails, Sonic and Amy are left now. The Fox is heading to what I think is the Master Emerald. In Project Sonic etc., it is revealed that most Sonic Saturn titles were meant to raise awareness about the Sonic series in Japan, since it's not very popular there, but Sakura Taisen is. Blah blah blah, more information about Sonic's moves, and Sonic 4 is now in development for Dreamcast. Sonic is now back from the weird Easter egg, wanting to find Tails. Since the way to the Master Emerald is closed, the Fox decides to complete Ice Cap while racing Tickle instead of Sonic. The Echidna probably wants his soul, as usual. The way to the Emerald is now open. Too bad it closes immediately behind Tails. Now here's some concept art for both the spider as well as Fly the Bat. Fly, the flying JPEG, then decides to help Sonic find his friends. Maybe not every cut element is an antagonist, but hey, looks like Sonic is about to travel via train to the Mystic Ruins. Terios is then summoned by the spider to find the Chaos Emeralds. The Hedgehog either traveled in time via the Easter egg, but honestly, I'm not sure. After a couple of Chaos Emeralds, he goes to Style Dick, where the races Amy? The thing is that we see Amy nowhere in the level. She is always ahead of him, even when he reaches the goal. So either A, she's really fast, or B, she's still stuck in the test levels. After getting an emerald, the spider thing introduces Terios to Tickle. The Echidna says nothing, probably because A, she still isn't on board but is afraid of being lonely again, or B, Tickle does not follow Terios. I feel like Tickle feels a bit sad that she has to follow orders to gain her freedom. Maybe that's not the real freedom she is after. Philosophical tangent aside, the Hedgehog as well as the Echidna go to the Master Emerald and are ordered to deal with anyone who interferes. Tails is there, so Tickle jump scares him. That's it. That's the series so far. The ARG tackles the horror as well as the tragedy of being a cut element, sort of like Wreck-It Ralph, but I don't want to spoil anything from that. I feel like Tickle is a sympathetic antagonist who doesn't know better since she only accidentally has been unlocked. Terios is more confused than anything, but he still thinks that collecting the emeralds feels right for some reason. While the spider is probably mad that she got scrapped, so she invaded Sonic Adventure. I wish these cut ideas got implemented properly rather than being rushed. But hey, we got skins in Sonic Shadow Generations. So these are the two ARGs that tackle the same kind of topics very differently. I'm not exaggerating when I say I enjoyed these as much as Pet's Cup. No real jump scares, no blood, just some really subtle horror. And honestly, I can't wait to see where those go next. So yeah, I'll have the link in the description so that you can watch all of them. So, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want some more different content about video games. Thank you and bye bye!